What up, viewers? What up? What up? It is Friday, March 15th. I don't know why it always takes me a second to figure out what day it is. Beware the Ides of March for all those Caesar fans out there. Um, yeah, so this week had a lot of big things happen in video game news. So let's get right to it. I'm going to put this in front of me so that I'm not like looking off to the left to talk about it. Um, so yeah, the Division 2 launches today, and I'm super excited for it. I played the Division 1. I finally finished Anthem, and I was super not satisfied with the game, um, the loot progression, how much content was in the game, and so I'm deciding to talk about the Division 2 while talking about Anthem. Anyway, uh, super let down by Anthem, so I am moving on to the Division 2. Hopefully it is a better game. I was reticent at first because I didn't think the cover shooter was enough. They had a lot of end game problems in Division 1. But I am very hopeful that the gunplay looks a little bit better. The DC setting looks fun. There's a lot more versatile terrain rather than just having big buildings blocking you everywhere you go. I did like the verticality in Division 1 though. You could be up on a scaffolding while shooting down at some squad, and then there'd be someone on the roof sniping you. So I did like the verticality. I hope that's still there in the Division 2. And hopefully after this you'll see my impressions of the game as I create my character, which looks awesome. They have character specializations now, so I think every character has a special weapon they could use once in a while, kind of like their supers. One of them is a bow, a crossbow, a grenade launcher, a sniper rifle, an LMG or something. I don't know. I don't have it all figured out because I didn't think I'd be playing this game. But another driving force is that me and my fiance played it. That was probably one of the first games we started playing together, co-op. So she was super excited for it, which means I'm super excited for it. But no, really, I am pretty excited for it. I didn't really give Ubisoft a good. I don't know. I didn't think too highly of Ubisoft, but everybody's told me along the way that they iterate very well. So Division 2 should be better. And then I do like the player choice with weapon upgrades. I am excited for that. I'm not gonna say super excited anymore because I've said it 8 times already. Um, but the choice and autonomy in weapon upgrades sounds really cool. And uh, I'm I'm excited. I'm excited to see what choices, what way I want to spec my character, what weapon upgrades I want to get, and how much influence they'll have over my character and their specialization. Um, there's no Metacritic score for him. Everyone's got a review in progress going out, so there's no real Metacritic for me to go off of. So I'm just going in blind and hoping to have fun with a cool cover shooter that brings me back a little bit to the nostalgia of 2016. That actually brings up a good question. Can you be nostalgic for something that's only been 3 years? I did really just play the campaign of Division and then immediately stopped playing because the end game was pretty bad. But can you be nostalgic for something that happened 3 years ago? I don't know, but we'll find out. Let's see. Let's see how Division 2 rolls out. Another thing I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about was Borderlands 3. Gearbox all but confirmed that they are going to be announcing Borderlands 3 at PAX East on March 28th. So that should be awesome. I am super excited for that. That I wouldn't say it, but I'm going to continue to say it. I am excited for Borderlands 3. All these looter shooters have kind of gotten me a little bit jaded on what can happen with that. But Borderlands, I think Borderlands 2 is what every looter shooter has been trying to emulate since, and no one's really got it right. Destiny got pretty close because it went first person. Or no, they were both. Borderlands 2 was first person, but they went a little bit more stylistic, more realistic, and the gunplay was really good in Destiny. So that kind of gave Borderlands 2 a run for its money. But because I am because I just finished Anthem, I'm a little worried about like maybe building up too much hype. So I just sat down and started thinking about like what what does Division 2 need to change before, or no, what needs to change from Borderlands 2 to Borderlands 3 to make it like a really good game? I don't know if the art style is like up to date. I think it looks really cool. I still think that if you can do 4K cell shading, great. I want to see that game. But I think maybe the gaming community has kind of matured past the cell shading art style, and maybe they'll have to do something more Fortnite-y and or more Overwatch-y. But I don't think they'll go hyper realistic because I don't want that. That's not the style I want from a Borderlands game. And they showed like a picture, like a pixelated picture, and it still looks like the same style. So hopefully that still looks good, especially on the upper end rigs and the 4K and the Xbox One X's, and the PS4 Pros. So visually, I think they'll pull it off. And then I just started thinking about like it had a good loot treadmill in Borderlands 2. The end game was kind of not there. Maybe they'll learn something from that, and we'll get kind of more of an end game to Borderlands, because I feel like Borderlands was also kind of got to the end and you got to max level, and then you just kind of stopped playing because there wasn't a lot of content to do. So something to learn is those kind of like raid mechanics of getting multiple people together to take out a big boss, having multiple of those. Yeah, so maybe there is something to learn from like a story perspective or an end game content perspective. RPG mechanics, I still think, I was complaining to a coworker today that I really want, I don't know what it is, but I really want a game that makes you pick your class and then stick with that class. Anthem, you can be whatever suit you want to jump into. Division, apparently you're allowed to specialize. You're allowed to switch specializations anytime you want, or at least, you know, whenever you go back to town. And I want to pick a class. I want to pick a class. I want to be stuck in that class, and if I want to play a different class, I'll make a new character. I'm okay with that. I know that implies that there's going to be a lot of time, but I want that. So I'm excited for picking a character in Borderlands 3. Blah! All right. I've kind of talked this one to death, but let me know what your thoughts are on Borderlands 3 down below in the comments. Next, moving on. Steam announced a Play Anywhere program. It sounds like you can just use your Steam library on most anything. I didn't read too much into it. If it was like, I did read that it's coming to Xbox, and so now that that's the weird part that got my brain all twisted up was, you can now play your Steam library. You're going to be able to play your Steam library on your Xbox One. You can already play Xbox Game Pass is coming to Nintendo, and I thought that meant that Nintendo games were coming to Xbox. So, but I think I've got that a little bit backwards, so correct me down below if I've got something wrong. But Steam Play Anywhere, that's definitely not what it's called. It's called Steam something or other. Play Anywhere was Xbox's thing. What was Xbox's tagline, but Steam Play Anywhere, kind of, I don't know. It allows you to play your Steam library wherever you want, which I've been trying to figure out how they did that. I had a Steam Link because I was a weirdo and actually got one. So yeah, I'm wondering what more can come out of that. Also in the realm of streaming, Google Streaming announced, we saw the patent for the Google Streaming controller. I think it's just going to be a dongle that plugs into the back of your computer, and then it's going to be some kind of like shadow box out in some server farm somewhere, and you're going to be able to play super low latency like video games with this Google controller, which is very ugly. I'm not going to tell you how ugly it is, but there is an Alana Pierce a tweet about how ugly it is. It is not pretty, but I'll have to wait until I get one in my hands to see what Google Streaming is all about. But if anybody's going to figure out streaming and shadow, and like shadow boxes and server farms, I think it's going to be Google. So interested to see what that's all about. On to more gaming news. Lady Gaga did some kind of, was all but confirmed to be in Cyberpunk 2077. I think that she did some kind of mocap. I could totally see her like playing as a character in Cyberpunk 2077. It's always had that outlandish kind of style. And considering she's Academy Award winning, I loved her in A Star Is Born. I am excited to see what that means. Plus, I'm just excited for Cyberpunk 2077. So anytime I see news of like big name actors or things going on with 2077, my ears perk up because that is probably my most anticipated game right now. Days Gone has gone gold, which means it's completely done. They have finished it. I mean, they're gonna day one patch like 50 gigs of it anyway, because that's how the video game industry works now. But Days Gone has gone gold, whatever that means in the current meta of video games. But it means that it is printed onto a disc, I believe. This is what the official thing is. So all of the content is on the disc right now. I am actually looking forward to this. PlayStation has been knocking it out of the park with Spider-Man and God of War and all their exclusives. I can't wait for Last of Us. And Days Gone, I was hesitant at first, but it's kind of grown on me, and Sony knocking it out of the park has restored my faith, and I do kind of want to see what the story is and kind of see it from Sam Witwer, the main character of Days Gone, kind of see his perspective, and I kind of want to be in a zombie world for now. Haven't been playing too many zombie games lately. Moving on, PlayStation Plus is being sold for $45 rather than the normal $60. I'll have the GameSpot link below where you can pick it up for $45. Get it while it's hot. It's going on for like a couple weeks. I don't know what it's tied to, if there's any kind of promotion, but $45 rather than $60. Pay it now. Sounds like a good deal. Next, they have a Humble bundle that is a Humble strategy bundle, and it's got Civ 6 in it for like $15. Looks super cool. There's a couple other games. Can't remember too many of them off the top of my head right now, but all I know is I saw Civ 6 for $15, and that kind of got me in. I know that Civ games are usually built off their DLCs, which are like $5 add-ons. So those add up to a $60 game very quickly. But if you can get the base game for $15, maybe you'll buy more of those DLCs. Yeah, check that out on Humble Bundle. I'll have a link to it down below. Last but certainly not least, there is a VR subscription service put on by HTC Vive. Yeah, it was like I think it's like $13 a month. You can get unlimited VR games, and that sounds cool. I don't think that'll apply to PlayStation, which is the VR rig that I'd probably be more likely to play. But if you are PC VRing, $13 a month is kind of high. I think that's above a Netflix, like a 4K Netflix subscription. I know Netflix just recently changed their prices. Trying to put it in perspective, I think it's a little bit more than a base Netflix subscription, but I'm not quite sure. But yeah, $13 a month, get all the VR games that you want. Great. This has been the video game news report for the Ides of March 15th, 2019. Appreciate you stopping by. If you're watching this on my YouTube, a like and a subscribe there goes a long way, and I appreciate it. If you're watching me live on Twitch, a like and a follow and a subscribe goes a very long way there as well. I appreciate you stopping by. Hope you have a super evening and a super weekend, and I hope you appreciate all the news report that I have done for you today. Cool. Have a good weekend. Bye.